Hey, what's going on, everybody? James Grooms here from jamesgroomsmarketing.com. And today I want to talk to you about Bluehost and their different web hosting packages. Now, before we move forward, I do want to tell you that I am an affiliate. And if you look below this video in the description, you'll see some links. Those links are affiliate links. And if you click those links to make a purchase, then I will earn a commission. So with that being said, if you're looking for web hosting and you want to go through Bluehost, please click those links to make a purchase. It won't cost you anything extra at all, but it will help me to make some money. So please go through my affiliate links to make a purchase. Now, if you click that link, it'll bring you here to this page and you'll be able to follow along and see what I'm talking about in regard to Bluehost's different web host packages. With Bluehost, you can sign up to get a free domain name for the first year, free SSL certificate, one-click WordPress install, which is kind of a big deal if you're a beginner, and 24/7 support, starting at $3.95 per month. Now, this price here is for their shared hosting. So if you click this Get Started button, it will take you to another page, which is the pricing for the shared hosting. And this is where we'll start with the basic service plan. Again, coming in at $3.95 per month. In this plan, you get one website, 50 gigs of SSD storage, unmetered bandwidth, a free SSL certificate, standard performance, one included domain, 5 park domains, and 25 subdomains. So what does all that stuff mean? Well, one website is just that. It's one website for this account, one domain pointed at this account. 50 gigs of SSD storage. SSD stands for solid state drive. Here, read this definition. A solid state drive is a solid state storage device that uses integrated circuit assemblies to store data persistently, typically using flash memory and functioning as secondary storage in the hierarchy of computer storage. I read that fast on purpose because I want to make a point. There's a lot of people out there that will jump up and down and say, oh, SSD storage is the way to go. Solid state, solid state. It's not really a big deal, guys. Unless you're some super mega massive company making millions and you're moving extremely large files, large size files, back and forth all the time over your website. It doesn't really matter that your stuff is stored on SSD or anything else. So just want to point that out there. A lot of people try to make that SSD sound like a real shiny ball. Unless you're kind of a big deal when it comes to your business, then SSD honestly doesn't really matter. You'll never know the difference. So that's what SSD stands for, 50 gigs of SSD storage. You get unmetered bandwidth, a free SSL certificate. SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer. That's referring to the padlock that you see here. That means that this website is secure and any information that gets processed over this website is encrypted before it travels back and forth. So like payment information, credit card information, email addresses, all that stuff is secure. If you don't have an SSL certificate on your website, then Google is going to look down on you, and that's going to be very bad for your website because as of what I think was June of last year, they started to penalize all websites that don't have that. So this comes with a free SSL certificate, which is a really, really good thing to have. Standard performance, one included domain, 5 park domains. Park domains refer to domains that are simply being held in storage. Think of it like a car. When you're not driving a car, you take the car and you park it. When you're ready to use the car, you come get the car from wherever it's parked. This is the same thing with a domain. You take those 5 domains that you have and you park them and you hold them for later use down the line. That's all that means here. And then 25 subdomains is for breaking your website down into different layers. It's like, let's say you could have yourwebsite.com, and then you could have store.yourwebsite.com, and then blog.yourwebsite.com. A subdomain is just a way for you to really, I'd say, just categorize your website and keep certain parts of your website separate from other parts. That's super generic, super vague, but that's on purpose. It doesn't have to be that complicated. So that's the breakdown of the basic plan, coming in at $3.95 per month. Moving up from the basic plan with Bluehost, we have the plus plan coming in at $5.95 per month. With this plan, you get unlimited websites, so you could put however many domains you want to put under this account, under this plan. Unlimited SSD storage, unmetered bandwidth, the same free SSL certificate, standard performance, unlimited domains, unlimited park domains, subdomains, and then here they throw in the spam experts. Okay, now at first sight you might think, well, spam experts refers to like people they have work in, must be to help monitor my site, but that's not what it means. Spam experts is just the name they give to their email filter that scans and filters your incoming email for spam, viruses, phishing, and other email-related attacks by botnets and spammers with a 99.98% accuracy, all before it reaches your inbox. If you see down here, it says spam experts can only be purchased for domains hosted by Bluehost. This tells me that it's just the software that either they created or paid somebody to create, or they're renting it from somebody to be able to use it. It's just a spam filter, and that's just the name they give it to you, or the name they gave to it, and that's just marketing speak to make it sound like it's something super special. The next edition of the Plus plan is the One Office 365 mailbox. That's a Microsoft product. I don't personally like it. I don't like Microsoft products at all. I used to use them. I just don't like it. But that's what that is. Next up is the Choice Plus plan. This is again coming in at $5.95 per month. You get the same thing in the Choice Plus as you do in the Plus plan, except here it starts to pick up with a few extra things. You get the domain privacy and protection. Now what that means is when you create your domain, when you sign up for an actual domain like yourwebsite.com, this is going to keep your name, email address, phone number, all your personal information confidential and private. It's going to keep it out of the public eye. So in the event that somebody decides to do a search on the Whois database to learn about your website, they're not going to be able to hit you up with a bunch of spam and marketing calls and trying to get you to buy this or that or whatever for your website. It is a very good thing to have. If you don't have it, you can potentially get a whole bunch of really annoying calls from telemarketers, and the list goes on, all trying to sell you stuff for your site. And then they have the Site Backup Code Guard Basic, and this is just to back up your website. And then again, the Microsoft Office 365 mailbox, and that completes the Choice plan. After that, they have the Pro plan, the most expensive one here, coming in at $13.95 per month. You get all the same unlimited capacities with this, but then it takes a turn here at high performance. Now, as you can see here, it says Pro servers allow for 300,000 file count and are deployed with fewer users per server than standard shared servers, allowing for greater compute resource availability per user. In other words, you're still on shared hosting. You still have other people on the same server as you trying to run their websites, but it's supposed to be now at this level of the plan, it's supposed to be a less number of people, and that equates to the ability to allot more resources for your website as well as everybody else's that's still functioning, still operating on the same server. Okay. So less users running websites on the same server, but still a shared server nonetheless. And you get unlimited domains, unlimited park domains, subdomains, this time 2 spam experts, plus domain privacy protection, plus the site backup, and this time a dedicated IP address. And again with the Office 365 Microsoft product. That's it for the basic shared hosting plan. It's important to point out that you take note of these asterisks here, okay, because that refers to the fact that there's small print, which in this case refers to the promotional price, the introductory price of $395. At the end of the term, your price is going to go from $395 at the basic level up to $799. Okay, and the Pro plan is going to go from $13.95 per month up to $23.99 per month. Okay, once the special deal expires. Okay, once the end of that term, that first term is over. But that's standard with every hosting provider. They all start off with some kind of really great deal, and then prices just go up to normal after a certain amount of time. So this is the shared hosting plan with Bluehost from $395 up to $1395. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out, the basic ought to be fine for you. If you're really concerned about getting something that's a little more advanced, go ahead and go with their recommended Choice Plus. It's the same rate here, and at the end of the introductory period, at the end of the promotional period, then it's only going to go up, from $10.99 to $14.99. So it's not a dramatic increase, and this pretty much covers everything. And then you can just focus on really building your website. But honestly, it's the choice is yours when it comes to picking your hosting plan. That's it for the shared hosting. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to move on to the next part, the next type of hosting plan offered by Bluehost, and that's going to be their WordPress hosting. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down here to the bottom of the screen and click WordPress hosting. If you're following along from that link, then you can do the same thing. And that's going to bring us here to this page, and we're going to see their WordPress hosting. Now, this is a definite step up in terms of the pricing, and this is for people that are looking for a more tailored approach to building their website. Some people might not understand what WordPress hosting means. What that means is that you get a fully managed WordPress hosting environment, which means you can focus on the creative stuff for your website, where you have help on the back end for actually managing the technical side of your website, building your website, maintaining it, installing things, the techie stuff. But it comes, as you can see, with a higher price tag. Their beginning price here is $19.95 per month for the build plan, and that gives you all the basics for starting a professional WordPress website. This includes the Jetpack Site Analytics, which is just a plugin for WordPress. I want to point out that some people love Jetpack, some people hate it. It works great with some websites. It works horrible with others. A lot of things come into play when it comes to Jetpack. I don't use Jetpack in my WordPress setup. I don't actually like Jetpack. It was problematic for me, but that was just for me depending on my basic site setup. So I want to point that out, that Jetpack is just a plugin for WordPress in case you don't know that already. It may or may not be useful for you. In the build plan, you also get the Marketing Center, which just means you can monitor your marketing performance from your all-in-one marketing center on the back end of your site. Keep track of things like your traffic, social media, blog, etc., etc. 100 plus free WordPress themes, daily scheduled backups, malware detection and removal, domain privacy protection, and then again with the Office 365. Now, I want to point out that this 100 plus free WordPress theme stuff, what you're paying for in all of these three plans here, okay, because we're inside Manage WordPress Hosting. What you're paying for in WordPress hosting is the help on the back end, okay? If you don't know that, that's why the price is so suddenly so much higher, okay? Because everything you can quote unquote do here, you can do on the other shared basic plans. You just have to know how to do this stuff. If you don't know how to do this stuff, if you don't know how to use WordPress, you don't know how to build your website, you don't know how to work with Google Analytics, you don't know how to just navigate the back end of a WordPress website, then you're going to have to learn how to do it, or you're going to have to pay somebody to help you do it, in which case you could pay for this stuff here. So this is the build plan, starts off at $19.95 per month. Next step up is the grow plan. Looks like they step it up just a little bit. You get business review tools, Bluehost SEO tools, Jetpack ads integration, 10 gigs of video compression, Blue Sky ticket support, and then again with the Office 365. That's $29.95 per month. That's the recommended plan if you can afford it. It's always good, I'll say it's always good to have help on the back end of your website, especially if you're building a website. And WordPress at times can get very technical. So if you can afford the $29.95 per month price tag, then I would say go for it. If not, then you're going to have to learn how to do things that go with another plan altogether. Above the Grow plan is the Scale plan. This comes in at $49.95 per month. This is advanced features for running an e-commerce WordPress website. So Jetpack Pro included. That's going to be the paid version of Jetpack. Unlimited backups and restore. PayPal integration. Unlimited video compression. Elasticsearch, Blue Sky chat support, and again pushing the Microsoft products on you with 365. Again, I want to point out that Jetpack is just a WordPress plugin. Unlimited backups and restore you can do for free, or you can do with a plugin. You just have to learn how to do it, or else pay somebody to do it. There are plugins that you can use, you can pay for. There are free versions, freemium plugins, okay, that allow you to back up a certain amount of data for your websites. PayPal integration, okay, they have this listed like it's as if it's a big deal. I'm just going to flat out say that this is just marketing mumbo jumbo here. PayPal integration is like free. You just go to PayPal. If you're using WooCommerce, which is free, then PayPal is integrated already. You click a couple buttons, paste a little bit of stuff, and you got PayPal integrated for free. Unlimited video compression, depending on what kind of business you're building, what kind of website. If you're running e-commerce, you might not want to have a bunch of videos on your site. Elasticsearch, Blue Sky support, and again, like I said, they're pushing Microsoft products. If you can afford the price tag, the higher price tag to pay for the help on the back end of your website, because this is managed WordPress hosting, honestly, I say go for it. I don't want to knock Bluehost by saying things like listing PayPal integration and unlimited backup and restore is not necessary. That's just marketing technique. Again, making simple things look like a shiny ball. But honestly, when it comes to running a WordPress website, if you can get the help on the back end, then it's definitely worth it. Pay the higher price tag to get the higher service rate, and it can save you a whole bunch of time, a whole bunch of money, and a whole bunch of heartache. Because if you don't have somebody to do this technical stuff for you, then you're going to have to learn to do it yourself. So that's the WordPress hosting with Bluehost, the build plan at $19.95 per month, grow plan at $29.95 per month, and the scale plan at $49.95 per month. Moving on from WordPress hosting, we're going to go on to the next type of hosting offered by Bluehost, which is the VPS hosting. So again, I'm just going to scroll down here to the bottom of the page, and you can follow along with me from the link on in my video description. Now we're in VPS hosting. Now, VPS hosting stands for virtual private server. And what happens here is they virtualize a dedicated server for you as the customer, and that splits the resources among the users on that server. Some people choose this because they feel like it's more reliable, like they get better performance, and then they have better security with a VPS as compared to shared hosting. Bluehost VPS offers a free domain for the first year, SSL certificate, 30-day money-back guarantee. It just really depends on what it is you want to do with your website, what your ultimate goal is for building your website, and what are your long-term plans. So your standard plan here comes in at $19.99 per month, in which case you're getting 2 cores, 30 gigs of SSD storage, 2 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of bandwidth, and 1 IP address. The recommended plan Enhanced comes in at $29.99 per month. At $10 more, you're getting double the amount of storage, double the amount of RAM, double the bandwidth, and 2 IP addresses as opposed to 1. And then their ultimate plan at $59.99 per month gives you even more. 4 cores, 120 gigs of storage, 8 gigs of RAM, 3 terabytes of bandwidth, and then 2 IP addresses. So because this is VPS hosting, I'd say take a moment to think about what type of website you're building. What is your overall goal with your website? What is your plan for your business? Do you want this? Do you need this? Think about it, because nobody knows all that stuff about your site except you. But if you do want to purchase, then definitely go through my links, please. Moving on, we're going to go to the last section here, which is called dedicated hosting. This is where we're going to take a really big step in terms of the price tags here to the most expensive plans of all. Now, dedicated hosting, this just means that your website's the only website being hosted on that server. Okay, you don't have to share with other people. There's no other websites taking up the resources. It's just you and your website on that server, and that's it, and there's nobody else there. These are the biggest prices, or the biggest plans that come with the biggest price tags. So their standard dedicated hosting plan comes in at $79.99 per month. Now, the reason that dedicated hosting is such a big deal is because it has the highest level of privacy, the highest level of control, the best resource allocation, because your server is isolated from everybody else and you're the only one that's on that server. There's nobody else on it. It's just you. It's just your website. So you don't have to worry about affecting other people, and you don't have to worry about other people's websites affecting yours, because you're on an isolated, dedicated server. So if you're building something that has a high traffic rate, or you expect to have a lot of high traffic, like a super busy e-commerce store, yeah, you probably want to go with dedicated hosting. That would always be best. But again, really, its price tag is getting a lot higher here. So with the standard plan, you get 4 cores, 500 gigs of mirrored storage, 4 gigs of RAM, 5 terabytes of bandwidth, and then 3 IP addresses. The recommended plan comes in at $99.99 per month, $100, let's just call it that. 4 cores, 1 terabyte of mirrored storage, 8 gigs of RAM, 10 terabytes of bandwidth, and then 4 IP addresses. That's the recommended. At $100 a month, ask yourself, can you afford that? If you can, depending on your business, uh, why not go for it? Because dedicated hosting is that's the ultimate goal when it comes to having a website. Eventually, at some point, you want to have dedicated hosting where you don't have to worry about anybody or anything at all except your own website, and that's it, period. Of course, that might be a long way away depending on where you're at in your business journey, but dedicated hosting is indeed the ultimate goal in terms of having your own website. The final plan under dedicated hosting is their premium plan. That's $119.99 per month, coming in at 4 cores, 1 terabyte of mirrored storage. This time you got 16 gigs of RAM, 15 terabytes of bandwidth, and 5 IP addresses. Each server is custom built. This allows you to upgrade over time, so as your business grows, you can modify and make changes as need be for your server. You've got dedicated support, root access, so you can perform custom installations and do other work. And you have RAID storage, so your data is mirrored and protected, and more. That's going to be RAID 1. So we've covered actually all of the hosting plans now. This is the dedicated hosting. We've covered VPS hosting, which is virtual private server. We've covered WordPress hosting, which is managed WordPress hosting. That's the second highest tier of plans where you pay somebody to basically help you run the technical aspect of your website while you focus on the creative. And then we've covered shared hosting, which is just the basic most common type of hosting that anybody ever uses. Let me back up through each one of these pages here. That was VPS hosting. This is the managed WordPress hosting. And then we're back here on shared hosting. So again, I want to point out that shared hosting is the most common. That is the most common, the most basic type of hosting that anybody ever gets when they start a website. Whether you're going through Bluehost, whether you're going through HostGator, whether you're going through SiteGround, whoever, wherever, just shared hosting is what most people buy when they buy hosting when they're just starting out. So don't let these big price tags freak you out from these other plans. If you're a newbie and you're just starting out and you don't have a whole lot of stuff set up right now and you know that you got to start somewhere, one of these regular shared hosting plans are going to work just fine for you. In terms of what plan is the best, none of these plans are any better or worse than the next plan. It's all up to you. It all depends on what you like. It depends on what you want. It depends on your goals. Nobody knows that stuff but you. If you have the money to afford a higher price plan, by all means, go for whatever one you think is going to work best for you, because again, nobody knows your goals. But if you're a beginner and you just are looking for a way to start and you just want to get established, any one of these, the basic plus, the choice plus, will work fine. I'm going to say flat out, you don't need to worry about going for this pro unless that's just something you want to do. Just try your best to pick one. Again, whatever works best for you. That's it as far as the Bluehost hosting plans are concerned. Again, we've covered everything from shared hosting, dedicated hosting, VPS hosting, managed WordPress hosting. Hope that you found all this information useful, that it's helped you out in some sort of way for your own business journey. Please give this video a like if it has helped you. Share this video if you can, and if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will see you folks on the next video. Until then, thank you for watching. Peace.